You're going to get in the video.
And we are live. Thank you to everyone who's watching us live and everyone who's watching us back as a recording. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Tonight we're joined by Rose. She is the sister of Benjie Ridley, who disappeared July 2nd, 1982 from Burien, Washington. Rose, welcome to Locating the Lost.
Yes, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for reaching out. Lately, we've had a hard time trying to get people on. It's a lot of cold calling or cold messaging, I should say. It's been a little tough, but I did post something the other day, and you're someone that reached out to us, so thank you so much for doing that.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate trying to get this out there.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about your brother and your childhood?
Okay. Well, when I was 3, he was 4. Our parents had gotten divorced. And then my dad ended up remarrying. After that, we were, of course, raised in 2 homes with abusive parents. My mother was physically, mentally, emotionally abusive. My father had a liking for little girls a little too much, especially his own daughters. And my stepmother was good to us, except for my brother. She abused him mentally and demeaning towards him. We grew up like that. We had a good childhood when it was just us out playing and away from our parents, of course. But he had a lot of issues because of the things that he went through. He started fires. He did things that ran away a lot. Of course, I understood the running away part. They pretty much broke him with all the abuse that they had put him through.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Was it like a physical abuse for him, or is it more, I think you said just mental abuse, like the way they verbally abused and the way they spoke to him, or did they physically abuse him as well?
Well, my mom physically abused all of us. My dad, he abused him, but I'm not really sure the extent of it because he didn't really do it in front of me. But he was, I think, 12 years old, and he was staying with them. I don't know what the purpose he was staying with them for at that time, but he was staying with them and attending school, and my stepmom had to go pick him up from school because he had literally crapped his pants because of his emotions were so broke down. She put him on a toilet and took his underpants and smeared it on his nose like he was a dog.
Oh my word.
Did anyone at the school ever raise suspicions of it? Any type of abuse at home?
No, I was young when he just talked me into running away with him one time. We ended up getting all the way down the viaduct, which I looked it up. The viaduct from where we were raised was like over 9 miles. How we walked that far, I don't know. We were picked up by a police officer who saw us, took us to the police department, asked us what we were doing, why we were running away, and of course, I don't know if he said anything, but I was too scared to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I feared that if I told him, that he was going to tell my mom, and then my mom was going to pick us up anyway, and then she was going to take us and beat us for telling on her. So I didn't say anything about why we ran away.
Wow.
Anyway,
heavy stuff that you and your family, you and your siblings lived through, and you're about 9.5 months younger than your brother, you said?
Yeah, he was born April 2nd of 68. My birthday is January 19th of 69.
So, if you can, I mean, we can keep talking about what you went through if you want. Like, I'm all ears, and I'm sure people would like to hear this. Or if you want to, we can kind of move on to close to the time when your brother disappeared.
That was pretty much the main points of was trying to point out what he had gone through, the kind of life he had endured with our parents up to that point.
So he was put into foster homes at one point too, right? Or was that all of you guys?
No, it was just him, except for that one time when we both got picked up, and that's because he had run away all the time. So they pick him up, putting him in a foster home. It wasn't a placement thing. They didn't take him out of our home and put him in a foster home. They picked him up when he ran away, and then they placed him in a foster home is what happened.
So was there any type of investigation done on your parents for the abuse that was going on at home?
No, they didn't have that. I don't think anything was ever mentioned about it. I mean, I don't remember how old he was, but my mom was taking him to a therapist when we were growing up. But like I said, all he went through, it's no wonder he needed one.
Exactly. I'm actually surprised that she took him anywhere if she's the one causing the need for therapy.
I'm kind of wondering that maybe it was court ordered, because we had gone to court for him before, and maybe it was because of his running away thing. I don't remember. Don't really know all the details, but it may have been court ordered, and maybe that's why.
Before we go any further, are your parents still around? Are they still alive?
No, none of them. They're all passed on, including my stepmother.
Okay. So, what was going on around the time of July 2nd, 1982?
I don't remember that exact
you were about 13.
day. I was 13. So, from what I gathered and stuff, he was put in a foster home, and he was there for a day, and he left the next day to have never been seen from or heard from again. But this is where it gets kind of sticky, because my mom told me that the reason he supposedly left the foster home was because he got tired of the foster mom telling him to quit hitting her her daughter. Now, if he'd never been seen or heard from again, how would she know that? Okay.
Right. Did she have any? Did she have any communication with the foster parents that you know of?
No. The other thing is the foster home wasn't far from my father's house. So we think that he made it to my father's house, which is where he ran into foul play at.
How far away was that from his dad's house or your dad's house?
I don't know exactly. I was just told it wasn't far, so it was probably within walking distance.
Okay.
My sister told me she had a psychic friend who had visions seeing our middle-aged stepbrother have blood all over him, had killed our brother, had put his body in the trunk of a car, and had buried the car on the property.
Okay, so just so I'm understanding, so you have an older sibling as well?
My sister, yes.
Well, no. Who was involved? A stepbrother?
Yeah, we had 3 stepbrothers.
Oh,
It was a middle-aged stepbrother.
How old would he have been at that time?
So I did a search, and I think he said he's 60 now. So it'd make him 2 years older than me. He'd have been 16.
16, and he was 15 at the time.
No, my brother was 14. They got that.
Oh, okay.
My sister got the year wrong. He was 14 at the time.
Okay, so he's 14 when he missing. So
yeah.
The older brother or stepbrother's 2 years older, and somebody said they saw his stepbrother do something to him, put him in a trunk, and bury the car. A psychic.
Yes.
I got a question here from Brooke. She wants to know, was this court ordered? Was he pulled from the home and placed in foster care? And were you all placed? She also goes on to say, I'm so sorry you had to go through all this.
No, he was not pulled from the home. It was probably during one of his runaways. He ran away off, and he probably got picked up and placed in the foster home from there. He never got removed from the home.
But then that would mean that your stepmom would be involved if she's, according to you, making up the lie that he ran away because he had been hitting the foster child or the foster parent's child.
Not my stepmom. My mother told me that.
Oh, your mom told you that?
Yes.
And who told her that? Your dad or somebody else?
I don't know. I just know that's what she told me.
When did she tell you this? Was this like as you're an adult, or is this back when this all happened?
I don't remember. I think she told us that shortly after he went missing and left the home.
How did they break the news to you guys that your brother was missing? Do you remember that?
They didn't tell us that.
So you just thought that he is in a foster home?
Oh, we didn't know.
How long did it take for you to... Yep. Sorry, go ahead.
We didn't even know he was in a foster home. I found that out later down the road after the fact.
Where did you think he had gone when he was not at home for a few months?
He wasn't gone that long. He probably ran away maybe that day when he got picked up. And then he got picked up, put in the foster home, and then he left there the next day.
Right, but I'm just trying to understand, Rose. So, did you know that he was at the foster home at that point, or no?
No, we didn't know.
you knew your brother wasn't around for a while. Did you ask questions about where your brother was?
No, because he ran away all the time. We probably just figured it was just one of those, it just ran away.
And how long did it take for them to finally tell you that, like, your brother was missing?
They never told us.
How did you end up finding out?
So after we were adults, my sister took his social security number and tried to see if she could find him using it. I don't know what kind of all searches that she tried this for years, and then she came to me and she asked me if she said she felt like she couldn't. There's nowhere else to look. Should she go to the police? And I told her, well, if she feels like she exempted all leads or anywhere to look, then yeah, that would be a good idea to make a report about it. And that's when it was finally reported about it.
Yeah. So
and when was that?
I think it said 2017. I'm not really sure the year.
Yeah, that's what I had read. Was he disappeared in 1982? The report actually came out in 2017, so it's like 35 years later. Audrey has a question here. She says, is there any documentation of him being placed or just the word of your family? Have you or your sister found any documentation about him going into a...
There's a video on YouTube with a King County police officer talking about cold cases, and he was the first one he mentioned, and he's the one that mentioned that he was placed in a foster home. Yes, they have documentation that he was in the foster home.
And this is something that's recent on YouTube?
I can send it to you. It was can't remember the year. It wasn't too awful. It was after 2017, that's for sure.
Okay.
So what I after what my sister said, I decided to do, because my friend asked me, my good friend, she's like my sister, asked me if I did ever did a search, if I ever looked down on the property like a sky view, and I told her no. If you told me of something I could download and look, and I did, and that's the picture I sent you.
Yeah, Jeff, are you able to put that address into Google Earth?
Yeah, I've already got it up.
All right, so if you can share that. So this is where you think that the car might be buried. And what is this property? Is this the home you lived in as a child?
That's the property of the house that my father and stepmother used to own, yes. And that there's a dirt patch that I showed you that looks like it's pretty much got nothing growing on it. That's where I think that maybe that's where he was buried at. I did tell the investigator this, and he said that I called him, because I called him, it's been a while ago, but I called him back, and he said they've been really busy, but when he's not so busy, because somebody, I guess, is living in the residence at the time, he's going to have to go and ask them if they can search, and then he's going to get the cadaver dogs out there to search the property.
And you're talking about the patch of dirt that's like between the three houses there, right? That triangle?
3 buildings, yeah. One's, I think, their back porch. The other one used to be a gazebo. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I could see it right down there. You see the concrete slab to the right, and it's in front of the concrete slab to the left. That dirt I'm talking about.
And there, right.
That's nope. Go back the other way. Okay. Next to that building, there's a dirt patch area there. I think that might be their house. I'm not really sure.
Right about there, right? Where the...
Yeah, right about there.
And I can show what you sent me too, if you don't mind, Jeff. I'm just going to share the picture that you had sent me, Rose.
Or maybe it's the other spot. Okay, there was another spot I saw after you took that off. Anyway.
Maybe. So you're talking about like this lighter colored area here, right?
Yeah. That's where I think it is. So after I did that, I thought I'd go one step further and I would look up my stepbrother and do a search on him and see what I could find on him. I come to find out he had used multiple names over the years, including a completely different first and last name at one point. Yes.
And why do you think he did that?
I don't know. My suspicion is he's trying to stay hidden so nobody can find where he's at.
Have you reached out to him to ask him if he knows anything about your brother?
Nope. I mean, even if I did, I don't know if he'd admit it.
Brooks said it's so sad that he had to run away to be heard, and he still didn't get the safety and love he deserved. None of you deserved that treatment. Thank you for sharing your story. I hope you find answers and wish you love and peace. Peter Nodden says, have you gotten the original police reports? I assume somebody reported him missing at the time. No, Peter, nobody ever said he was missing until 2017, so 35 years later.
Yeah, nobody ever reported it. No adult, not the foster home, not the foster mom, not our mother, not our father. Nobody reported it.
Do you know who the foster mom was, or is that all like sealed up records?
I don't know. I know that I was told that they went out and spoke with her, and that they basically ruled her out of any foul play or any wrongdoing.
Brooke also says, would the car still be there? I'm sure it'd look rusted and the body was is decomposed, but would there be any evidence of the car being buried there? Why has no law enforcement searched the property already? This is a missing endangered human being. Yes, the information came from a psychic and may or may not be reliable, but I do not understand as to why we aren't doing more to help these human beings and find them safe or have answers for the family. And it's the property that your parents lived in at the time that he went missing. You think that they would take a few minutes and run a cadaver dog over it?
They kept that property until they passed away. They didn't move out of it. It was actually foreclosed on. But yeah, they didn't move out of the house until after they were gone.
Have you or your sister reached out to the property owner to see if they'll allow anyone come on the property with a cadaver dog or anything?
Okay, that's the thing. A real estate agent bought the property. So I think that the person that's currently living on the property is renting the house. And they said they were going to speak with the real estate agent, but they probably was told that somebody was living there, so they have to actually go to the door and ask the people if they can do a search.
So, the reason you believe that possibly your older stepbrother is involved is based on the psychic, right? Is there anything else that you've learned over the course of the last 8 to 10 years, that like any other type of stories you guys have heard, or have you reached out to relatives?
Actually, I didn't really believe it by just what the psychic said, but then when I did the property search and I saw what I saw, and then I did the Skyview look, and then I looked him up and found out what I did by his name. It just kind of almost kind of comes together and kind of makes sense. I felt when I saw that on the property, it's like my heart dropped in my stomach. It was so like, I just know that's where he's at. It's hard to explain, but I just know that's where he's at.
I wish this could be a bigger picture, but yeah, and you're talking about these patches of dirt here that seems like not much is growing there. And which house did you guys, or was the house torn down now? These are different buildings.
No. It was the only house there. Like I said, there was the house in the front, and in the back you had the porch showing. The other building next to the porch is, I know what that is. That's the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the other thing that looks like a building that was next to the gate there, the big kind of right in front of that patch I circled. That's used to be a gazebo. I don't know if they changed it building over the years, because I left there 32 years ago, 33 years ago, something. I don't know. I left there a long time ago, so I don't know if they took the gazebo down and put something else up. I don't know.
For some reason we're having trouble on Facebook. I don't know if you saw that, Jeff.
What's that?
We're having trouble on Facebook. Just got an alert saying that it's been deleted from Facebook. We've been kicked off, so I had to delete the stream for Facebook and re-add it. So I don't know what that's going to do for our video. It'll still be good on YouTube. And our viewers dropped way down.
It says it's live on Facebook right now.
Yeah, because I just re-added it. I had to remove it and then re-add it when into edit. That's the first time that's ever happened. But I'm seeing Brooks comments. Linda commented saying it's buffering on Facebook. So I apologize, Rose. So we do have Brooks' comment here. Says, wondering if speaking with a foster mother would give some kind of idea, or even any foster siblings, neighbors, or friends. That is, if he is still alive, maybe worth having the police look into this if you have not already. Really, anyone who lived near the foster home or knew him while he was residing there. But again, he was only there for a couple days. So, Rose, what do you think happened? I know you said you're skeptical about what the psychic had said, but do you believe that your brother went to this foster home, nothing happened to him there, he did actually run away, and then he tried to get home to the rest of his family?
I think that my father was the mastermind behind the crime. I think there's 3 reasons I can figure why he might have wanted to either shut my brother up, keep my brother quiet, or get rid of him. I found out our mother had told our father that he was not his child, and yet he still would have him over to visit with us because he didn't want to uproot and make it look odd or funny. So maybe he regretted the fact that he was supporting him and take care of him as we were growing up if he wasn't his child. The second reason is because when I was young, my brother actually caught my father fondling me. So he may have wanted him to quiet him up, keep him quiet about that.
Was that around the same time?
I don't remember. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how old we were when my mom told him that wasn't his child. So I don't know. The third reason is my sister said that our brother was gay. So, and that wasn't something that was, accepted back in the early 80s like that, in the 80s like that. So,
have you or your sister been online to look at the different John Does that are listed, like the unknown remains that have been found? Does anything match up to your brother?
No. My sister said she when she did make the report of him, in 2017 that the police did take her DNA.
I was going to ask you that
So
next. Okay.
they do have that on file to compare with. If they do find anything that they can, they could check with that.
I'm actually on a website that breaks it down by date. Let's see if I can find anything near Washington or that would match your brother's age at the time. But you really don't believe that he's still alive then?
I went through most of my life hoping and hoping that he had gone and got him a whole new identity, and just because that's what I wanted, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got him a whole new identity and just went on with his life and this and that. But, I would think by now that he would have tried to, find, me or my sister or something, if that was a fact. And I at this point, I'm, like I said, with what I've seen and what I found, I just really think that that's where he's at.
Did your brother have any, I'm trying to look here. So, did he have any dental work done that you're aware of? Did he see a dentist?
He did, and they can't seem to find the record of it. He rode his bike and he chipped a tooth, one of his front teeth. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember he had to go to the dentist and get it fixed.
And approximately how big was your brother when he disappeared? Height and weight?
I'm not sure. It should be on that poster you have him on. I think they put up 5 something on there. The green one that had his height and stuff on there.
14. It's just hard to see on the screen. It's so small for me. I apologize. Let's see. 5'7", 138 pounds. Yeah, so this one that I found was late teens, early 20s, 5'11", 170. Extensive dental work, gap or missing front teeth. So that's probably not the same person.
Yeah, he didn't have any missing teeth. He just had the one front tooth that he had chipped and had work done to it.
All right. And then you did say your sister had given up her DNA, right? Has anything come back on that?
She told me that they hadn't contacted her about anything.
So what do you want people to know about your brother?
His life was cut short by some very evil people. I don't think that's what you want to hear, but he's very loved and missed by both his sisters.
Yeah, and I can't pretend to imagine what you all went through as children. Just hearing the, snippets of things you've told me already about your childhood and his childhood. I'm deeply sorry for what you went through. Are you and your sister also, did you go through counseling and stuff too to deal with the trauma that you had as a child?
I went to therapy when I was 23, 24. I went to Job Corps. I got in at the last minute. That's 23, I think. And she said she got into therapy too, but I think she started later. But yeah.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. How long ago did all the parents or the not role models, the parent figures,
Right.
how long ago has it been that they've passed?
I don't really remember the years. I know my mom was the first one because she took her own life. And then my stepmom, she passed away second, because my aunt told me that somebody needed to go take care of my father because he had Alzheimer's, and my stepmom had passed, so was gone, so ain't nobody to take care of him. So he was the last one, but I don't remember what year it was. He was in the 70s.
Did any of you, either you or your sister, ever ask them about your brother?
I don't think so. I mean, we didn't know what we know now back then. I know that my stepmom claimed, so the way it used to be set up was my father had his own business and he worked out of his house. Well, eventually he turned the house phone into the business phone, but before he did that, my stepmom said that somebody would call the house and they would answer, and then whenever they'd answer, somebody on the other end of the phone wouldn't say anything, and she thought it was our brother. But I think they were just trying to steer us away from what probably actually happened and trying to make us think, he was still alive, knowing that he wasn't. I mean, I can just speculate on that because I don't really know for sure, but without finding his remains, that that's all I can do at this point.
Right. Brooke says you're very brave for speaking out, so thank you very much, and absolutely.
Thank you, Brooke.
And then she also says, do you believe Benjie would have reached out by now after having seen your biological parents had passed? Like, he never showed up to any funerals or anything like that. It's just doesn't make sense. Like you said, your sister looked up his social security number. That's never been used.
Never been used. I mean, you would think that, he would have got some kind of job or something and used it, but never ever been used.
What about
just
friends?
Bizarre that someone can fall off the face of the planet like that. Like a child,
Yeah.
a 14-year-old can just disappear.
I mean, he must have had neighborhood friends that he hung out with. Did anyone ever talk about him, running away from the foster home and making it back home or anything like that? Have you tried to reach out to any of his childhood friends, if you even remember the names or who they were?
I don't know of any childhood friends that he had. I mean, we didn't really talk about that. But then at the time that happened, I believe that he was living at my mom's house, and he got, I guess, I don't know if he got all the way to Burien when he got picked up, or pretty close to, and that's when they picked him up, put him in a foster home there. I don't really know the all the details of it, but
okay. A lot of people are talking about how brave you are coming on here and talking about this. Do you guys have a Facebook page designated for your brother?
no.
You might want to do something like that, and then maybe, or share his story on local pages in that area. I'm sure that town has a local page like most towns do nowadays. Maybe you might get lucky and have a friend of his that recognizes him and might know more.
Yeah, I have. There is a Burien group, and I've posted something about it once a while back, but haven't heard nothing. So,
Well, you could always post this podcast here, or the one that you're on before. That will, get people to see the whole story, right?
Right.
Peter, and I already kind of asked you this, but Peter's asking, do you know who owns the property now? Any possibility that permission could be obtained to GPR, which is ground penetrating radar, that spot with a volunteer group?
The property is owned by the real estate company who's currently renting out the house. So the current investigator said that he has to go knock on the door and ask the people that are living in the house if he can search the property. But he's been
tell him to fucking do that. Our interviews were like, just tell him to get off his ass, go over there and knock on the door and see if.
Right? Is it social anxiety? Is he concerned about having to talk to someone? I mean, if that was my job, is to try and find people, right?
He claims that they've been really busy. That's what he told me. I don't know. Because I called him. I just looked it up because it waited so long and hadn't heard nothing. And I looked up, I think it said probably in March, and I hadn't heard nothing. He says, well, we're going to take the cadaver dogs over there and we're going to search, and then I'll call and let you know if we find anything or not. And I waited and I waited and I waited and I didn't hear nothing. And so finally I called to complain because I hadn't heard nothing. And finally he reached back out and said, oh, I'm sorry, we've been really busy. I haven't had the time to go over there. So
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah.
This is the phone number to the King County Sheriff's Office. So maybe people watching or the people listening later on can reach out to the King County Sheriff's Office at 206-296-3311. Call up and ask about Benjie's case. What are they doing? Have they knocked on that door? Because
I did give you the name of that investigator and his number too.
Yeah, we probably won't be sharing
Aaron.
that.
we can what was his name again?
Aaron Thompson.
Aaron
Something
Thompson.
like that.
So yeah, so if you call that number, ask to speak to Aaron Thompson, Detective Aaron Thompson, and then ask him about the case. What is he doing to help solve this and help bring closure to the family of Benjie Ridley? So before we end this tonight, Rose, if Benjie's still out there, what do you want to say to him?
Sort of try to reach out and contact me. He probably isn't going to know his sister because she uses a different name right now, but try to contact me and let me know if he's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you made a good point. Like your sister goes by a different name now, but you've never changed your name. So if he was out there, he would have searched for you by now, and he would have made contact. So I think it's kind of telling, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Sorry, I was just reading a comment. Is there anything else you want to say before we end, Rose?
No, I just want to get that out there. I hope that something will come to light soon, one way or another.
Well, you've done a great job being the voice for your brother. We all just want to see him brought home. Cute kid. The picture all the way to the right is an age progression to 50 years old, I believe. So if you have seen him, please reach out to the King County Sheriff's Office at 206-296-3311, or if you have any information. Rose, thank you so much for joining us. We pray that you'll have answers soon.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Jeff, did you want to say anything before we end?
Oh, yeah, just same as always. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And, yeah, thank you very much for being with us. I know it obviously wasn't very easy for you, but, people here really, really care. So hopefully we get some people to help share this out. And, you can use this to, or like I said, the other podcast, get some attention to this, what's happening or what happened to your brother, and hopefully someone out there has some sort of an answer for you.
Thank you.
Rose, do you remember the name of the other podcast?
Some people say they can't find it. So if you look up, I can get a screenshot of it sent to you on Messenger.
All right. Okay. I can look on YouTube too. I'll type in your brother's name, see what comes up. But yeah, please, everyone, please help her look into this case.
And if you if you do make a Facebook page for your brother, let us know. We'll definitely share that out as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Rose. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
You too.
Search for 5-year-old Taylor Williams led investigators to Alabama this week.
So we have some breaking news from Florida. An arrest has been made in connection.
After years of agony, a glimmer of hope for the family.
Investigators spent hours searching through this house off Pennsylvania Avenue.
What could be a major development in the search for missing Alabama teenager.
Tonight, a stunning twist in the search for Taylor.
Somebody out there knows something.
They want to lay him to rest their way, not by somebody else's way.